Hi guys, welcome back. I hope you're all doing well today, having a good Sunday morning. I thought I would do my everyday makeup for you today because I haven't done one of these for quite a while and it's autumn now, so things kind of change with the seasons and I love autumn or fall inspired makeup. So my everyday makeup has kind of been the same for the last couple of months, but I'm definitely adding in some autumny twists. I thought I would just run through with the products that I've been grabbing at the moment, and that is what this video is going to be. So let's just start putting makeup on my face. So I'm going to actually use a primer. I never usually grab for a primer, but I have been using one recently. This is from YSL. It's the Top Secret Instant Moisture Glow. I feel like my skin has gotten super dry recently and I know exactly why. It's because it's cold and it's autumn and my skin does this every single year. So this kind of adds a little bit of extra hydration. It just kind of boosts everything back in your skin, makes your makeup look a lot nicer as well. And it has one of those kind of slippy silicone textures to it. So it kind of just makes everything a bit smoother as well. I've got a little bit of a throwback for today's foundation. This is Chanel's Vitalumiere Aqua foundation. And I used this for a long time a while ago. Gotta give it a good shake up first when you use it. But yeah, I used this ages ago when I was at the Chanel counter the other day and I just decided to get it again. I remember this being a really nice lightweight foundation, but one that has good coverage at the same time. And that is something that I'm always looking for. So I've kind of been enjoying using this one. I put it on with my beauty blender. I feel like this one goes on best with either fingers or a sponge. Just something where you can really work it into the skin. And I use about, I wouldn't say it's a pump, maybe half a pump of this, a really small amount because it does go a long way. I like my foundations to be pretty much as sheer as possible. I hate the feeling of a cakey foundation on my skin, so I don't put a ton of this on at all. I kind of make up for it when I put my concealer on, but I think it just gives a really nice kind of smooth base to work with, so I really like this foundation again. So it hasn't done super amounts of covering, but I feel like it just gives a nice glowy base to start with, and I do like a glowy sheen. Glowy, but it's not tacky. It kind of sits really nicely on the skin. What I'm using for concealer is something quite new. I'm not sure if I've spoken about this yet in a video, but it's my new favourite thing. This is from Bare Minerals and it's the Bare Skin Concealer. I just think this is such a good product. It's super full coverage without being cakey or heavy or drying. So for dark circles, it's just perfect. I don't have to use anything but this under my eyes. So I can kind of skip out on correctors, brighteners, anything like that. It kind of does everything in one. So I'm quite liberal with this. I put a lot of it underneath my eyes, but I definitely need it there. And then a little bit on the bridge of my nose, and then just kind of on my chin and those little blemishes and red patches that I need to cover up. I really love using a really nice damp beauty blender under my eyes just to kind of press that in. So where I sort of drew a triangle, just pressing it in rather than sort of rubbing it across my face. This concealer is kind of everything that I expected the Urban Decay Naked Concealer to be and hoped for it to be. That one is such a popular concealer, but I've just never been able to get on with it. I really dislike it. I find it quite dry and cakey. Whereas this has the kind of coverage that I feel like that one gives, but it sits so much better. I really like it. So that is my base taken care of. I really love the combination of these two. I think they are great. So I'm just going to set that all down. I'm going to use one of the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powders. This is the new Surreal Light palette. It's stunning. It's marble effect. I'm just going to use the powder from this one today. And this is in Surreal Light, which I think is exclusive to this palette. So I just take it on this little Charlotte Tilbury brush. I find this is so good for setting, especially underneath my eyes and around my face. So just sort of sits really perfectly underneath there. And then I just take it kind of on the patches where I might get a little bit shiny throughout the day. So on my chin. The great thing about this powder is you can't put too much on. It's such a luminizing, really brightening powder that you can kind of go to town and it's never going to look too matte and too cakey, so I really like that. I like to use a pretty matte bronzer when it comes to everyday makeup, so one that I've actually been going for loads at the moment is Benefit's Hoola. This is such a classic bronzer in my collection. I always end up going back to it. It's just the perfect neutral brown shade. It's not warm, it's not cool. It sits really nicely in the middle, so I kind of just put bronzer everywhere, underneath my chin, on my forehead. I could just go on and put it all over my face. This next product I am obsessed with. You guys probably saw me talking about this in my haul that I did recently of drugstore autumn products, and this has become my favourite thing from that whole entire video. This is from L'Oreal and it's their Allure highlighter. And it's basically a creamy gold, beautiful, beautiful thing. I've never really seen anything else like this, although a few of you guys commented saying Colourpop do something very similar to the kind of textures and formulas of these. Unfortunately, we can't get Colourpop in the UK, but I feel like if you guys are looking for a Colourpop dupe, then this might be a good thing to try. So it's just so creamy and beautiful, and the gold pigment on this is amazing. So I just kind of take it on my finger and pat it on the places that I want it. So obviously the tops of my cheekbones. It gives the most amazing highlighty glow. It is so stunning, and I never thought that I'd enjoy a gold highlighter, but I really, really like this. And then I'll put it down the bridge of my nose, especially on the tip as well. I've been putting highlighter quite a lot on the tip of my nose instead of the whole thing. And then I'll just sort of blend all those little bits in with Beauty Blender, because you can get a little bit too heavy with this. It does look very sparkly and very bright if you put too much on, but I think if you tap it in again and just blend it with the rest of your makeup, it can work really nicely for every day. I'm going to go back into the Hourglass palette again quickly, just to put on a little bit of blusher. I really like this lighter blusher shade, which I think is called Surreal Glow. It's a really nice subtle pinky colour. A tiny bit of this is just a really nice little add of colour. I'm going to quickly whiz through my eyebrows. You guys have seen this a million times. I'm just using the Anastasia Brow Wiz pencil for this in the shade Taupe, this one is. I've also been using the NYX brow pencil, which is basically a dupe for this. The NYX one isn't as pigmented, so you don't get quite as bold a brow with it, but I do like it. I think it's a really great little pencil if you're looking for a really inexpensive dupe of this one. One thing that I do on my brows now, without fail, every single day, is use a clear brow gel, especially this one here, which the packaging has just rubbed off completely. But this is the Anastasia Clear Brow Gel. I think this might be a sample one because it is super tiny, but it's still going strong. And this stuff is like super glue, seriously. It just sticks your eyebrows in place all day, but it does it in a way that is natural and really not crispy at all. And I actually sit here for a while kind of combing them into place. I like the front part of my brow to really kind of go up, and then the rest to kind of go outwards. So I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette today. I've had so many of you ask me to do a video with this because I've had it for quite a while now, and honestly I have just reached for this every single day. It has a combination of warm tones, cool tones. They are all matte except this one here, which has a slight shimmer to it, but I get so much use out of every single shade in here, and they are just the perfect everyday colours. So if you're not super into your extreme bright eyeshadows or anything too intense, I think this is just an amazing palette. It's also really small and compact, and kind of combines all the best matte shades of all the Naked palettes, so I really, really like this. So I'm going to use a combination of Commando and Tempted here in my crease, and then I sometimes mix in a tiny bit of this one here, which is called Faith as well. It's a tiny bit warmer, and those three just make for the most perfect crease colour. So I'm going to really, really blend those out into the crease of my eye. And then this really warm coppery tone, which I think is just the standout shade in this whole palette. This is called Extra Bitter. I'm going to take just almost one dab of this on my brush because it is quite pigmented, and pop that into the outer corner of my eye. It's kind of a little bit reddy, a bit coppery, but I don't want it to go too extreme, so I put a really, really subtle amount of this on there, and then just blend that into the rest of my eyelid as well. So it's mainly on the outer corner, but it sort of blends in as well. I love rusty coloured eyeshadows like this, and I really haven't used them for a while. But I think autumn is just bringing me back to them. They're kind of unavoidable, to be honest. Everybody's using them. And then I'm going to take the tiniest little bit of this one here, which is Blow. This is the one with the slight bit of shimmer in it, and just place that mainly on my tear duct, but just a little bit into the inner corner of my eye as well. And then to finish this all off, I'm just going to use a little bit of Faith and lock out these two dark browns and just pop those underneath my eyes on my bottom lash line. So I have been wearing liquid liner again. I've been really back into it. I think because of this liner in particular. This is from Eyeko and it's the I Do liquid liner. I really like this. It's kind of a flashback to the sorts of liners I used to use, which were very thick felt tip pen nibs, but this one's a little bit thinner, a bit more refined, but it just goes on so easily. I like to think I'm pretty good at liner as it is, but this one I can just do so quickly. So I hold the nib pretty much flat against my eye and then just kind of pull it out and sort of make the line about as thick as the actual pen nib is. And then the flick I do, but I've been doing it quite flat, so I'm almost aiming towards the end of my eyebrow. And then again, almost just using the tip of the nib to sort of press that on there. This is also a super black, really beautiful liquid liner. It's not one that's going to go grey throughout the day. It's going to last so well. So I've been really into this recently. So I'm going to finish that off with some mascara. I'm going to go for the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara. Ever since repurchasing this in my haul video, I have just been using it every single day. I just love this mascara. I think it will always be my all-time favourite. So lipstick choices are going to be difficult because I have 3 to choose from today and I really can't decide which one to use. The first one is one that I've been wearing constantly at the moment. This is the Kylie Jenner lip kit or matte lipstick in Dirty Peach. I really like this. Didn't think I would. I got sucked into the hype yet again and had to buy one of these when it came out, but of all the shades that she does, I think this is just the best one for pale skin. All the natural tones just really don't suit my complexion very well, but this one I really like. Then I have the most predictable autumn lipstick ever, which is the Rimmel Kate 107. This is just such a cult classic. I really love this lipstick and it just screams autumn to me. This is definitely the best autumnal berry shade that you can find at the drugstore. So cheap, really inexpensive, and a really great lipstick formula as well. So I think the one that I am going to use is actually the same lipstick I was wearing in the last video you will have seen on here. By the way, if you guys haven't checked that out already, I am giving away 5 of the Huda Beauty matte liquid lipsticks, which are amazing. I'll leave that link down below for you to go and check out. But I have the Chanel, I always forget what these are called, the Rouge Allure inks. I have 2 of these and I really like them. This one is called Experimente. It's very dark and very deep and intense, but it's a true red. It doesn't have any purple in it, and I feel like those ones really suit me the best, and I think with this eye look as well, this is the one. The one thing about these is they are a tiny bit tricky to apply, especially the dark colour. Getting it really precise around your lip line can be a little bit difficult, so I am going to pop on a little bit of lip liner first. This is from MAC and it's burgundy. If you struggle to apply liquid lipstick really well, I honestly think lining your lips first is going to make your life so much easier. So it's a little tip that I would definitely recommend if you kind of find it hard to get a nice precise edge with them. So I'm going to pop this one on top of that and just fill in the gaps. So with these, you kind of want to do a very thin layer, wait for it to set down, and then do a second coat. You can definitely layer these up as many times as you want and they never feel cakey or heavy, but they're kind of this new liquid lipstick formula which isn't super opaque, but works really well when you build it up and add a few more layers. So I'm going to let this set for a bit and then add another layer on top. And that's it. That is my everyday autumn makeup for you guys. I hope you like this look. I personally love this. I think obviously the lipstick makes it what it is, but this whole routine, this base and this eye look and everything is just what I've been wearing loads recently. So I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I will see you all soon. Bye.